Welcome to the SciFi Pubcast, a science fiction discussion show with only the finest galactic libations. On today's episode, we speculate on the best bars in science fiction. So pull up a chair and order a drink. Your server will be with you shortly. Hello, welcome to the Science Fiction Pubcast, the SciFi Pubcast. My name is Joe Welch, and with me tonight we have Derek Beebe and Keri Simpson. They're staff members, and we're here in this best science fiction pub that the galaxy has to offer. Tonight we're going to be discussing what makes a good bar in science fiction. So, Derek, Keri, what makes our bar the best in science fiction?
What makes our bar the best?
What makes our bar the best?
Yes, let's go with that.
Definitely not the food. At least not if Derek's in charge of it.
I'll have you know that our prices are very reasonable.
Lovely.
For spoiled food.
Okay, you guys aren't selling this. This is going to be like episode number 1. You know, this is going to be our introduction to the greater non-Slack community of the Random Chatter Network. And yes, we just boned the opening, so yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Well, we've just opened. We've got great drinks, great food at low prices, and the taste is so good you almost don't notice anything wrong with it.
Oh God. Yes. Thanks for that, Derek. So what's your position again at the SciFi Pubcast?
I consider myself a bit of a backroom manager. I wash dishes if need be, but mainly I do the purchasing, the ordering, trying to find the best deals out there for our supplies.
Okay. And Keri, what's your position here on this fine establishment?
I am the security manager. However, I think we established that I'm also taking a few turns in the kitchen, just to make sure that the food is actually edible.
Absolutely. And the more eyes, the better, because, you can't run a decent business without, heavy surveillance. So you're part of my surveillance team.
Exactly.
So, and for the...
That camera in the walk-in is not because I don't trust Derek. It's just that I don't trust Derek.
Yeah. And
yes, but who watches the Watchmen?
And just to make it clear, there's no cameras in the restrooms. Just saying that.
There are no cameras in the restrooms. No, but there is an Ewok at each. So watch it.
Oh yeah, that's right. Our door person at the restroom. It's upscale place.
The Ewok is there to dry your hands on, just kind of like wipe on his fur.
Yeah, that's very rude, Derek.
No, in their culture, it's a compliment. It's like what do you call it? Grooming.
Wow.
And as you can see, dear customers, we've just opened for business. Everything's brand new. We're still hiring staff, wait staff, you name it. By the sounds of it, I need to hire a good lawyer. With the way this is going tonight. So we're here about good science fiction discussion and anything that helps that. If any customer, these listeners, your customers, if you have any passion about any aspect of science fiction that you want to come on and talk about, and please do let me know through Twitter, Joel_Welch on Twitter, and I will arrange it, because we're recording this through Skype, and we're here for the good conversation. Ain't that right, guys?
Yeah.
That's right.
Great. Go team, go. So perhaps this may not be the best bar in science fiction just yet, but it's nice to have aspirations and goals.
Yes, we're working on that part.
Yeah. So we may not be the best bar, but we've taken a lot of inspiration and ideas from science fiction and bars in science fiction. And there's lots of examples. So, guys, where do you want to start first?
Well, I mean, there's the bars, the various bars in Star Wars. There's the Cantina in Mos Eisley, the Cantina in Maz's Castle. I'm sure there was a bar somewhere on Bestman, even though we didn't see it. There was there were a few bars in, I think, Attack of the Clones.
Oh yeah,
there was Dexter's Diner.
Yeah, that's a diner though. That's not.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but there was the gaming bar that they go into when they're chasing the Clawdite.
Yeah,
Sam
that's
Weasel.
what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Yeah, great place to pick up some death sticks.
Yes.
You don't want to buy any death sticks. You want to go home and rethink your life.
Okay, let's go to the granddaddy of the science fiction bar. Let's talk about the Mos Eisley Cantina. Now, I'm on Star Wars the wiki, and it's the proper name, and I didn't know this until I read it today, and I've been a Star Wars fan for, I don't know, my entire life. It says it's awesome. Well, its proper name is Chalmun's Cantina. So
yes, I remember.
Chalmun.
Yes, I remember that, and unless they changed it when they reset the timeline, Jalman, I think, is a Wookiee.
That's right, yeah. And apparently the Wookiee doesn't like droids because droids take up space and they don't drink.
It's a reasonable argument there. Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
I always thought that droids were not allowed in there because of the Clone Wars. That was the assumption I always made, that they hated droids because of the war, and they were still resentful over it 20 years later.
Well, the war didn't really get to Tatooine all that much, so that might not be it. But I mean, it is a good argument. I don't deny that, but I don't think that was the main reason. I think Joel has a point. You know, they take up space and they don't buy drinks. And it's not like the bar is serving oil. Very true.
I also had forgotten that it was called Chalmun's Cantina. They probably established that in Tales from the Mos Eisley Cantina, the novel, but I haven't read that in so long I don't remember it anymore.
I remember it being somewhere else, but yeah, I think it was mostly in that book. Yeah.
Yeah, we need to get a copy of that for our bookshelf behind the bar. We have a typical books a bar library where you take a book, leave a book. So so definitely that's something we have to pick up.
There's also a Star Trek book series. I think it's called The Captain's Table, and it's about all the captains meeting at a bar and trading stories.
Well, it's not that they're all meeting in a bar. At least not all of the Star Trek captains that we know are not meeting in the bar together. They're just coming in and out of the bar one after each other. I actually did read that series. It's kind of cool. And I think there was like a storyline behind it. I think Q was involved, which, that's typical.
Did Q pick up the tab afterwards?
This is Q we're talking about.
Yeah, and he probably didn't give any tips to the wait staff, right? So.
Well, if I remember correctly, he was running around disguised as a chameleon or something like that. I'd have to go back and look at it.
That's quite
I'm
odd.
not sure if I read these or not. I know of them, but I don't know if I read them.
Oh, they're fun. There's one. The Voyager one is kind of eh. But,
well, all of Voyager is kind of eh.
No, I don't think so. But
okay, I can't get my staff members in a physical fist fight. Okay, just please back to your corners.
I'm a lover, not a fighter.
There's no contest if he tries to fight me. So.
Oh God.
Well, you knew what you were getting into when you hired us, Joel.
Yeah, but it's a labor market. It's not really good right now. Yeah, and I have to make some money through the front door before I can hire, or at least before I can, get better labor involved. So.
Okay, fair enough.
Going back to the Mos Eisley on Tatooine, this is what a lot of people experience as the first science fiction bar they remember, either as a kid or just because older people like me refer to the bar constantly. It's because it made such a lasting impression because of the characters in the bar. Not just the humanoids, but all the different aliens. And the aliens were all, for the most part, different. Mm-hmm. And that's so neat. Just, I can only picture, Yeah, sure. The Mos Eisley bar in Star Wars: A New Hope, so on Tatooine, and it was also in the Clone Wars, the TV series, for about 4 different episodes.
Yes.
But you mentioned the conversations because these are this is a hotbed of smugglers, lowlifes, criminals, people on
Bounty
the run.
hunters.
Imagine the bounty hunters, right? Imagine the conversation if people actually talk, and they do talk. Even people who don't really want to talk, eventually having a couple more drinks, yeah, they will talk. Like it's like going to a bar in contemporary, like now, and meeting Derek. You know,
I don't know that Derek would be in a bar.
Wouldn't that be more of a
I
horror
probably wouldn't be
movie?
in a bar either, but I would if I were suddenly thrust into the Star Wars galaxy, I would probably find my way to Mos Eisley, or at least a bar somewhere in the galaxy.
I definitely wouldn't go there to drink, but I would go there for the jizz whalers.
Yeah, the bars usually have a good bar. The bar usually has a good band going. So
Do they still call it that in the new continuity? I have to assume they wiped that out.
I have no idea. I haven't.
I could only assume.
Referencing that.
Yeah.
what I wonder is if Chalem, the gentleman, the worky guy who owns the bar, did he take his inspiration for creating this bar from, say, another bar that was in the Star Wars timeline? Just afterwards, perhaps. Maz Cantana Castle. Maz has been around for 1,000 years.
That's true. I mean, they never really say where Chelum comes from. I think.
Yeah, it sounds.
I
It
can
sounds
find
like
something
he's.
on Wikipedia right now, but it's not.
It sounds like he's a bit shady.
Yeah.
All right. So we got the 2 bars from Star Wars. You mentioned Star Trek. Is there bars in Star Trek?
There is.
Yes, there
Tell
are.
me about that.
Well, there's the 10 forward on the Enterprise 171D.
E for Derek.
Yes, because your ego doesn't need to be any bigger.
It's the future. Nothing ever bad happens in the future in Star Trek.
Now,
I'll explain that to the Borg.
I actually always liked 10 forward as a kid. Well, first of all, I love the design of the Enterprise D in general, the way everything is so spacious and streamlined. And to this day, whenever I think of a starship, I basically immediately picture the Enterprise D. And 10 forward, it extends to that as well. Whenever I picture a sci-fi bar, that's basically the image that immediately pops into my head.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's also the bar in Trouble with Tribbles.
Yep.
Which had that epic, where we had that epic bar fight.
Which we saw again in DS9's.
Yes.
Was that also called The Trouble with Tribbles, or was that
No,
called
that's Trials and Tribulations.
Trials and Tribulations? Yes.
Tribulations.
Just remember, spoilage and spillage, they're bad. Yeah, I know. I'm looking at a picture of the 10 forward bar, and it's like there's nothing on the walls. It's very postmodern, streamlined architecture. There's a standard bar. You have these seats that looks like they're from the 1970s. You sit into, and like the bartenders, they like the one bartender, Gannon. She wears all these weird circular type hats. What's up with
I
that?
love those hats. Guinan's always dressed cool.
She's an alien.
She is an alien, yes.
Okay, yeah, and I suppose we have to be tolerant about that and aware of that and alive to the fact. But I don't know. I like bars more grungy. Like I like Star Wars grungy bars. It's more real than say the Star Trek bars, which is always so clean.
So Quark's bar is too clean for you?
It's okay. It is, and Quirk's bar has a full name now. I've discovered to my horror, but it's known as Quirk's Bar, Grill, Gaming House, and Hello Suite Arcade.
Huh. Wonder when they added the rest of that.
I actually started playing the season 6 episode Profit and Lace to play on mute while we're recording, and he actually says that in the very first line of the episode.
Oh.
And this was before Joel mentioned it, and I heard that and I was like, oh, I didn't know it had this long name like that. I thought it was just Quark's Bar.
Well, that's Quark's Bar for short then, I guess.
Yeah, informally.
Well, that's the thing. You want to have a bar with a proper name that locals can then short form it, right? Okay, so I know that one of the bars I went a lot to when I was at university was called the Morrissey House, named after the musician Morrissey. And so the short form is Mose. I want to go down to Moe's or Moho. So it's a verbal cue sound trick for advertising.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So with Quirk's Bar, Grill, Gaming House, and Holly Suite Arcade, that's a tad long to put on a business card if they actually use
that's
business
a
cards.
bit of a mouthful.
And this whole Holly Suite thing, I'm not sure what they're trying to get to with that. It's, is it rated PG? Is it more rated R? What's up with that?
It's whatever.
It's
holodecks.
beyond rated R.
Whatever you want them to be.
That's going to be a forthcoming episode of the Sci-Fi Pubcast. Sex robots. No. Yeah.
I haven't watched Westworld yet, but I'm going to soon.
Yeah, it's quite good. The
It
HBO.
is good. Yeah.
Okay. What else? What else is there?
Well, I'd like to talk about 10 Forward a little bit more, if I may.
By all means, grab a seat, pour yourself a drink, and let's talk, Derek. I'm here for you.
See, now you were complaining about how the walls are bare and how everything is too streamlined, but I actually like that. I mean, like, for example, my condo, my house, bare walls, I find it relaxing. I think walking into a place where there's just stuff everywhere, it's too noisy, it's too busy for your eyes. At the end of a long day of work, I would like to just go somewhere that's kind of quiet and, not too decorated. You can just kind of let your mind settle and expand. Well, I don't drink, so I wouldn't go to a bar anyway. But remember, this is Starfleet in the Next Generation era, so they're all, kind of nerds.
That's true, and it's kind of by the time they introduce 10 Forward, they've kind of established that they don't know how to party in the 24th century.
Oh, that's right, because they didn't introduce it until season 2 when they introduced Dynan. I forgot that. Yeah. I also love the fact that it was in the bow of the ship. It's in like that very nose edge part. So, the bridge was, back up on top of the saucer, but 10 Forward is literally the forward-most part of the ship. So I always thought that was cool too.
Yeah, it's the best view unless there's a ship attacking.
Yeah. Then it's a really exciting view.
And it's a smash.
Then you don't want to be anywhere near the bar.
But yeah, I always liked 10 Forward. I always thought it was a cool design along with the rest of the ship. Whenever a bar shows up in a kind of futuristic sci-fi setting, I immediately start picturing 10 Forward until they describe it as being otherwise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I usually picture it as being more like the Mos Eisley Cantina until they say otherwise.
Well, I tend to look for something when I think of, spaceships and future technology, I tend to assume that they're clean and sleek as opposed to dirty and full of garbage.
Yeah, but Derek, that tells us about your personality versus, say, my personality or other people's personalities. When I assume a bar, I assume, it's going to be full of humanity with all their, negatives and questionable behaviors and mannerisms. And I don't see a clean bar. I see a place that's lived in.
Yeah.
I guess I'm just antisocial. I want something cold and sterile and alone.
Well, that's why you go home.
So I'm just wondering, Derek, I know this is personal, but your condo, does it have white walls many times?
It does.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
And they're padded too.
Okay.
And they put me in this nice jacket at night so that I can't do anything.
Alrighty then.
This
is your kitchen manager talking, Joel.
Yeah,
what
I'm concerned.
have you done to us?
Yeah, we'll see how he does. I just don't like firing people, but we do need dishwashers. So
that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah,
and he does like to clean.
Oh, yeah, that's right. A cleaner.
And
that's one thing about these slick postmodern type bars with their wide empty spaces and very, flat surfaces. It's easy to clean up after bar fights.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Not
that there are a whole lot of bar fights in TNG, but yeah.
Which bar would you prefer to go to? Quark's or 10 Forward?
I think I like Quark's a bit better. There's a lot more to do. There's more space. There's as long as you don't let Quark cheat you too much, it's a good time.
I will admit that Quark's bar has a much more interesting visual design because it has the 2 levels, and like the rest of the station, it has that really cool gridded mood lighting where, it's not just like a well-lit bright set where it's all just kind of not moody, but soft lighting, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually watching a scene in Quark's bar right now, and you've got Morn. What bar would be
you always
complete
have
without
Morn.
Morn?
Yes, when Morn leaves, it's all over. I
Yeah.
think that's rule of acquisition 79.
Okay, I'm kind of old, and I didn't watch DS9 very much. That character,
Sacrilege.
I'm sorry. Is that the blonde woman? Am I
Morn?
thinking- Yeah.
No, he's
No.
the one that doesn't. He's the alien that's kind of bald and he doesn't talk ever.
Right.
He's basically this huge alien that just sits at the bar. He never talks. The actor's alien mask doesn't even have a mouth in it. But the joke is that he never shuts up and he's always talking, but you always just miss him talking. So he never talks in the show over the entire run, but everybody's always talking about him and how they're friends with him and they do things with him, and he always tells stories.
Yeah.
And he spends a lot.
Yeah, apparently.
Interesting. Do we have his contact info?
I don't. Maybe we can get it from Quark.
Okay, maybe.
Although I think Quark would be not interested in losing a customer, especially one as well paying as Morn.
He might charge us a fair bit of gold press platinum.
That's true.
Yeah, our conversation about how the Star Trek economy works is going to be saved for another episode.
That's true. Yep.
But one thing I want to distinguish between the two bars is that, so 10 Forward is on the USS Enterprise 1701D, is that right?
D.
Yep.
Yes.
D, yeah, okay. So in other words, it's the crew, what's the complement of that version of Enterprise? 1,000 people?
1,000 people.
Right, okay. So out of the 1,000, you're going to have maybe 950 that actually drink beer, like drink.
Wait,
The other 50 would be
probably-
like Derek, right?
Probably. You have a small percentage that don't.
Right.
But
There's
they
some
go there
Klingon-
for food and stuff too. So
There's some Klingons that only drink prune juice also.
Yeah.
yeah, until they, start drinking blood wine.
Now, with Quark's Bar, that's on a space station.
Yes.
So space station has lots of visitors. There's always a turnover about the customers.
Mm-hmm.
DS9 is deep space. I don't think it's more of a resort. It's more of an operational forward point. Probably lots of tradespeople, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it's sitting at the mouth of a wormhole, so it's getting traffic in the Alpha Quadrant plus anything coming through from the Gamma Quadrant.
So
Unfortunately, it also has is the first line to be reached when the Jem'Hadar come through. But yeah.
So do they get many the space equivalent of cruise ships?
I don't remember seeing any really remember seeing any cruise ships in Star Trek.
Yeah, they don't really show large passenger liners, I should say.
Yeah, it's usually just freight.
Yeah.
Freight ships or small shuttles.
They never really dealt with tourism in Star Trek very much, did they?
Well, yeah, they didn't. Yeah, they didn't really. They basically just, if a ship happens to dock, it happens to dock, and then.
Yeah, I'm thinking more of like the Fifth Element when they had this big space cruise ship.
Oh
yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's I can see. Well, what my point being is it's going to be a different bar experience. If you go to 10-4, you're going to see the same people. It's more like a military mess. You work with these people. You live with these people. It's like the community local bar.
Right.
Whereas Quark's Bar, it's more of a tourist bar. It's more of a, who knows who's going to walk in. And
Exactly.
both experiences can be good, but they're very different.
All right. So there's the bar at the end of not Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Mostly Harmless, where where Ford and Arthur steal the pink Cadillac. Apparently, where Elvis disappeared to, maybe.
I knew Elvis was still alive. Thanks.
Yeah,
This
he's
confirms my bias.
performing. Yeah, he's performing at a bar on the other end of the galaxy.
Yeah, but that's his home planet, right?
Maybe.
Oh.
Maybe. I think he just wanted to get away. He did sell Ford and Arthur his Cadillac spaceship so they could get back to Earth, though. That was pretty cool of him.
He's the
I
king.
haven't read that book in so long. I don't remember any of this.
Well, they don't actually say that it's Elvis, but he does take a few requests, and Arthur, of course, is oblivious. But Ford is very, very happy that he ran into Elvis at the bar.
That's cool.
What else is there?
Well, there's also the Venusville bar in Total Recall, which has one very memorable moment in it.
What's that, Dirk?
We're trying to
It's the moment when they turn off the oxygen and everyone is there is kind of is asphyxiating, and then the air comes back on and they can all breathe again.
Sorry, I don't keep abreast of these things.
Hey, I think we're trying to keep this family friendly, aren't we?
Yeah. Sorry, I just Derek.
The cops are coming for you now.
Okay, so this.
Yeah. Sorry, that's me.
Those are the pun police.
So what's the name of this bar?
The Venusville bar.
Okay, and that's
but it's on Mars.
Right. Okay, and that's from Total Recall. Came out in 1990, starring, of course, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Right.
Yeah, Arnold.
The Governator.
All right, and so.
Just to Mars.
So what type of bar is this, Derek?
It is the kind of bar where you can hire a woman of the night to go upstairs for you for a few hours and then come back down afterwards.
Okay, just to let you know, the Sci-Fi Pubcast does not endorse this behavior, and that type of behavior will not be tolerated in our bar. But it's neat to see things like that happening in science fiction in other bars.
Thank you, Joel.
Yeah, just want to make sure. Yeah.
What you do on your own time, Derek, is what you do on your own time. Let's keep it out of the bar.
Oh, I'm way too cheap to spend money on that, Keri.
Wow.
Yeah, this is gonna be a future episode topic. Sex trade workers in science fiction.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Okay.
It makes me want to go to the end of the universe right now and have a pint.
Yeah. I think I'll join you. I may be able to get us into Millie Ways, but we might have to leave Derek in the parking lot.
Yeah. We don't need a reservation too. We'll do that later. So.
Yeah, we'll just walk into the bar. We don't actually need to.
Okay.
Restaurant.
Keri, you're the big Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I read the books, but it's years ago. Tell us about Millie Ways.
Millie Ways is the restaurant at the end of the end of the universe. It is on a. It is set up so that you can watch the universe end as you eat, and then once it's over, the time rewinds, and you can go back to whatever it is you're doing. And so it's somehow it's set up in such a way that if you can go as many times as you want, and you will never run into yourself. So it's a very, very strange time loopy kind of thing.
Is there a rule of science or physics that I won't run into people I don't like? Like, for instance, I'm not going to walk into this Millrace bar or the restaurant at the end of the universe and see Derek sitting there. Am I?
You may walk in and see Derek sitting there, but you won't see yourself sitting there.
I don't remember how can they do that so that you can keep going back without meeting yourself.
The physics in Hitchhikers is very, very strange. I'd have to pull out my copy to explain it.
It's science.
I mean, are they like overwriting the timeline each time?
You're gonna make me go get the book, aren't you?
No. We don't want to hear the ambient background noise.
What ambient background noise? It's right across.
Of you stomping around and shuffling books and knocking over a screaming cat and.
I don't have a cat.
Spilling empty beer bottles everywhere.
There aren't any empty beer bottles anywhere near me.
You guys do realize you get a staff discount, right?
I don't know what you have in your place, Derek, but that's not what's in mine.
I told you, clean padded white walls, and a door I can't open.
Oh God. At this point, let's shift this. Let's expand this idea to include the Expanse bars.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you read the books, apparently the bar that Detective Joe Miller, the dude with the hat, one of my favorite characters of the Expanse, him and his network security cronies, no spoilers, they go and visit this bar called the Distinguished Hyacinth lunch? How to say that? It's a type of
Hyacinth?
liquor. Yeah, which I've never had. So that sounds like a pretty good place. Go out and see a bunch of cops/security people getting drunk every night.
I wonder if it's named.
It's a private security company, so it's not like they're government workers. They can go get drunk if they want.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if there's rules. Like maybe it's like the old company store where you had no choice. You had to go drink there.
Possibly.
Interesting. Okay.
I wonder if it's named after the British comedy Keeping Up Appearances.
Yeah, that must be it.
I don't know.
Do either of you know that show?
No.
I've heard of it. I think my parents watch it or used to watch it.
Now I feel old.
Uh-huh.
Well, Hyacinth was the main character, and she's just kind of this elderly busybody who, is all gossipy and snooping on everyone and finding out the dirt about people and then telling it to other people and that sort of thing.
Oh, that's a good reference. I didn't know that. Cool.
Yeah.
The other bar in the Expenser is that we can identify, and I've looked. I went and I watched the scene again. It's the OPA bar on Cirrus. That's when Miller walks in. He just loses his job. He almost gets murdered, and so he confronts Anderson Dawes. So he walks in, and it's all Outer Planet Alliance folks, right? Okay, so these are hardcore radicals or terrorists or patriots, if whatever side you're on in this conflict. So it's so neat. So you have Miller, who everyone hates. This group really hates Miller. Miller doesn't care. He walks in, and as soon as he walks in, everyone stops. It's like the music, the record player like screeches to the sun.
Yeah, I remember that.
And
there's also the bar on Tycho.
Oh,
on
right.
Tycho Station.
Yeah. Oh, that's the one I'm talking about. I think so. I don't know. It's one of these.
No. This, I'm pretty sure that because Anderson Dawes was the governor of Ceres.
No, he wasn't the governor of Ceres. He was the OPA on Ceres.
Okay, right.
That changes later in the books, I believe.
Yeah, but the bar that I think of when I think of the Expanse books is the one on Tycho Station that they keep going to all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Not that I found it particularly memorable, but they would go to it a lot.
So, that's the nightclub, right?
Yeah, it's more of a nightclub.
Yeah, which is next to the brothel.
Yes, and I believe in the books there's also karaoke in the bar.
Right. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. We gotta go. We gotta do like a road trip.
Yeah, we definitely need a road trip. I'll see if my spaceship is fueled and ready.
Oh, you're driving? Perfect.
Do you want Derek to drive?
No, I don't.
I may have to pack a suitcase full of air to get there.
Oh dear gods.
Wasn't that on Futurama one time? Like Fry had a suitcase full of air and he had to keep sipping from it.
I haven't seen a whole lot of Futurama, but
what?
You heard me.
Next thing you're going to tell me you didn't watch the new Battlestar Galactica series.
I think we've already discussed that I haven't. I'm a fan of the old Battlestar Galactica series.
The one where Starbuck is a guy for some reason? That was weird.
It was the 80s. It was two guys. They were awesome.
Didn't they also have like
Starbuck was animals? Starbuck was set up with Apollo's sister. It was great.
You get a lot of generational differences, among science fiction products and bars and
exactly
interactions. So what other bars? You can branch out. This is going to be just the first episode. I'm sure we'll miss dozens and dozens of really cool bars, but trust me, there will be other episodes about talking about best bars in science fiction.
There is the end of the line bar from Tron Legacy.
Okay. Yes.
I'm trying to remember that one.
It's on the. It's when he goes into the grid to find his dad, and they wind after he gets out of the games, he winds up in a bar.
And it's run by Michael Sheen, who has this weird David Bowie look and a big glowing cane and white hair.
Oh,
yeah, that was kind of fun.
Yeah, I mean, like the bar itself wasn't totally memorable, but just like, it was obviously part of that whole design that I loved about that whole movie. The whole like black neon track lighting thing. I
And
don't
it was
know.
very clean. You would have liked that part at least.
I'm sure it had some great games going on there.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and also the bar was at the top of a skyscraper, so you took a glass elevator to go up to the top of the skyscraper, and that's where the bar was at the very top.
Right.
So that was pretty cool.
Hence why it was called the end of the line.
Oh.
Yeah. See, things make sense like that.
Well, that's also a reference to programming code, I believe.
Well, it's also a reference to it's not end of the line, it's end of line, which was what the MCP used to say all the time.
Ah.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
Oh yeah.
What else do we have?
There's the bar in Firefly. I think it's the train job when they're celebrating.
The opening scene when they're celebrating the
Yes.
the Alliance winning out over
Yes.
the rebellion.
Yes. Nice Western bar out on a planet somewhere, because why not?
The really cool thing about that bar was that it was on the very edge of that cliff, so that when they ran outside, the Serenity was waiting there, right outside the bar.
Yeah.
So I thought that was cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
I actually steal that setting for a scene in one of my books. It's like a bar on the very edge of a cliff, so that the person can like leap off the cliff into a waiting starship and run away.
Okay, Derek, if you're gonna steal creative story ideas, you don't go on a podcast and say you're stealing that idea. It's a bad idea, man.
Thank you, Joel.
Well, no one's ever
You
going to
said that
read
way
it, so
better
it's
than I
okay.
could have.
Yeah, we all know, writing involves a lot of creative thefts, but still, you don't actually articulate that.
Hey, the first rule of writing is beg, borrow, or steal.
And the second rule?
Always be closing.
No, the second rule is you don't talk about the first rule. All right. Okay, let's expand. What else is out there? Some bars we know from popular culture. It doesn't have to be science fiction.
Well, if we dip into the fantasy genre a little bit, from Angel, the TV series, there was the bar Keri, which was run by Lauren Green, the host. He was a demon, but he sang karaoke all the time. And the cool thing about that bar was that no violence was allowed. I believe there was actual magical spells to prevent any violence from happening. So different kinds of warring enemies could go in there and get a drink and talk and make peace without being able to fight each other.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know that franchise at all. So you have a demon who runs a bar.
He's a nice
Yes.
demon.
And he does karaoke a lot.
Yes.
Is this part of hell?
No,
No,
he's
no,
part
this
of
is in
LA,
Los
actually.
Angeles.
Okay.
So same difference.
Okay.
Hey, I live in LA.
Oh, and also you would go there and sing karaoke in front of the host. And by hearing you sing, he would, I want to say, tell your future or learn a
Yeah,
secret
it was some
about
kind of
you.
weird. It was some kind of weird power where he could tell your future, but only if you were singing.
Yeah. Or like give you like some kind of very important advice,
Yeah.
like a therapist.
Yeah, that was kind of weird, but oh well.
Yeah.
Okay, this is just off the top of my head, but do you recall an example of a karaoke bar in science fiction?
In science fiction.
Um,
I mean, other than the one on Tycho Station?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, other than that one.
Not really.
Yeah, that's kind of neat because, karaoke is so popular.
Yeah.
are we going to have a karaoke machine in our bar?
Only when I'm not working.
And since Joel is always working, the answer is no.
All right. So what other bars are there in popular literature?
Well, there's the Three Broomsticks and the Hog's Head in Harry Potter.
I heard that place is magical.
Yeah, it's a very magical place.
Hey, I've been
Like
to it.
the
It's in Orlando.
There's one in Los Angeles too.
Yeah,
I haven't
rip
been
off.
there though.
A clone.
Whatever,
I actually haven't eaten in there because, of course, it's too expensive for me. But I did go in and walk around, and it looked very nice.
Well, I still have to get over to the one over here before they raise the prices too much.
If we're talking about just generally cool bars, I think the best bar out there is by far is the one in Indiana Jones, the Raiders of the Lost Ark. When they're in.
Oh yes, Marin's
Mungo.
Bar.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Little hard
Yeah.
to get to, though.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to get to, but very worth it if you get there, if you can get to it.
Because of Marion, you mean?
No, because of the good service.
Oh, or also
What did you think I
because
was
she
talking
had,
about?
or also because she had a magical golden medallion that would point the way to the Ark of the Covenant.
I'm not touching that Ark of the Covenant. I know what happens when you do.
I just you can touch it. You just can't look at it. You have to bathe
Or open it.
It actually is a
Yeah.
great weight loss program, though. The pounds will just melt away.
Mm.
Okay, yeah.
And here I thought I would only have to deal with puns from Joel.
Yeah, I'm actually waiting to hear the sirens of the pun police coming, but nobody's here. They must have gotten lost on the way.
Right. Well, there's also, of course, Fellowship of the Rings, the Prancing Pony.
Yes, there's
Prancing
Pony.
Pony. I'm just trying.
There's also the pub in Two Towers where Gimli and Legolas have a drinking contest.
All right. Yes. Who could forget that?
Yeah.
Actually, wasn't that in the Meduseld in Idorus? Like in the King's Hall, not in a pub?
Maybe. I don't remember. I think I think it's actually also in the extended edition. So it.
Well, I mean,
Might
in the
not be
movie,
well known.
they're definitely in Meduseld. I'm just wondering if it was different in the book, but I don't think it was.
I don't remember if they had a drinking contest in the book. I kind of doubt it.
Yeah, I don't think they did. They definitely did have the running count of killing orcs, but I don't know if they drank.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was just added for the movies.
Yeah, I don't know if you could consider Tom Bombadil's house to be a bar because they drank that weird stuff that made them grow taller.
That was with the Ents, though.
Darn, foiled. And I was just saying the other day that Lord of the Rings is my second favorite franchise.
Yeah, it did come up short sometimes. So.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Okay, I got one. It's not particularly science fiction type or fantasy, but it's one of my favorite movies of all time, and there's a space aspect to it. The late 1970s, early 80s, Tom Wolfe, 1979, The Right Stuff, but the Gemini astronauts. And
I haven't seen that one.
Oh,
Me neither.
Okay, let me just go off on it for a minute, and because it's really cool. Basically, you have this Air Force base where all the test pilots are testing planes, and this is like mid-1950s. And this is all real stuff. Most of the stuff is actually accurate, so it did happen. It's not. It's historic. It's not fiction. And there's this bar which is associated with this Air Force base, which is out in the middle of nowhere. It's called Happy Bottom Riding Club, and it's owned by this guy by the name of Ponchos. And this is where they did all the deals, because with these test pilots, they would go up, and the casualty rates were insanely high. And so there's a very cool scene about middle of the movie, The Right Stuff, where the one astronaut, actually, Chuck Yeager, you might have heard his name. He agrees to fly this new plane called the X-1, and he actually agrees to do it in the bar. And he went on and broke the sound barrier for the first time ever. So that's a bar. That's really cool.
Sounds cool.
Yeah. Okay.
I just thought of another one.
Go right ahead, Derek.
In Futurama, it's the bar with all the rings. It's like a 10-story tall chamber, and you can kind of float or fly around. And there's all these different platforms, and everything is like a concentric ring design. And everybody dancing is wearing rings.
Okay.
It was an interesting visual. It was very Jetsons looking. Actually, it was an intentional parody of the Jetsons. The way their little space houses were on those little thin columns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which raises the question.
There's also the bar in Babylon 5 that doesn't really have a name, as far as as I remember.
Yeah, because the Zocalo was the name of the market area, but I don't know if the bar itself had a name.
Right.
But they certainly had plenty of scenes of somebody sitting at the bar, drinking, watching the news report, ISN.
Yeah.
Interesting. Any last minute examples before we wrap this up, because we're approaching last call right now.
Yeah, I can't think of any others.
Again, we'll be revisiting this topic because there's so many bars that we've missed, especially from like science fiction literature.
Oh, yeah.
Because, a bar is a meeting point, and there's always cool stuff happening in bars.
Yes.
So, in conclusion, what was everyone's favorite bar then? Mine was 10 Forward.
Oh, I think I'm gonna go traditional and go with Mos Eisley Cantina.
Yeah, I have to go with Ponchos from The Right Stuff, but that's a historical bar, which doesn't exist because of fire and got burnt down.
How about a science fiction-y bar though, Joel?
Yeah, science fiction-y type bar. I'm a traditionalist. I think the Mos Eisley Cantina bar is probably the be all and end all. It's the granddaddy. It's like going to like in real life, going to an old hotel and going to the hotel bar. There's something that's classy about this, about the experience. That is not the people, but the experience.
I actually went to a sci-fi bar in New York City when I was a kid. It doesn't exist anymore, but you actually went through a little fake spaceship ride to get to the restaurant on Mars. And it was a big open space, and it was built with fake red rocks to look like you're in Mars. And there was a big screen on the wall that would show like crappy 50s sci-fi movies, which is kind of like what they have at Disney's Hollywood Studios, only there. Well, Joel, you were there, weren't you?
Yeah, I was there with my brother, and it was good. It was a good place to grab something to eat. And you sit in these fake little cars, like you're in a drive-in, and you watch a big screen, and they have this loop going with a bunch of really cool old science fiction movies from the 1950s. I'm trying to think, like the 20-story woman, or these big-eyed alien types, and it's cool. It's very 1950ish kitsch, mind you, but it's still was quite the experience.
How was the food?
It was good.
How are the drinks?
It was okay. It wasn't a bar there; it was more of a restaurant. I think I had a beer there. Yeah, it was cool.
Nice.
On a hot day. Yeah, definitely recommend that. Okay, let's shut the doors for now, and get out of here as soon as we clean up the place. Derek, make sure the kitchen stoves is wiped down. Put the food away
And turned off.
That's important. Fires are bad.
Do you want me to sing Closing Time by Semisonic?
No.
Okay.
And just lastly, in case people want to get in touch with us and they're out of town, I can be found on Twitter. It's my first name, JOEL_Welch, WELCH. Derek, what's your Twitter account?
My Twitter is @DerekJBB.
Cool. And Keri?
My Twitter is @Keri Blackfire42. That's KERI Blackfire42.
That was a lot to remember.
Yes, it is.
Great. The Science Fiction or SciFi Pubcast is part of the Random Chatter Network. You can go to our randomchatter.com website for all our great podcasts from several different podcasters. There's a show on Star Wars, several shows on...
He's had too much to drink.
Yeah, that must be it. So there's several different Star Wars shows. There's lots of Marvel shows. There's our Random Chatter main entertainment show. There's tons. Check it out there.
Yeah.
And that's it, folks. Get out if you could, and please come back tomorrow or whenever we're open next. Any last
Happy
thoughts?
hunting.
Oh, just tip your bartender on the way out.
Yeah, and that's a very good point. Usually
And watch for the Ewoks.
Watch for the Ewoks and tip your server. And if you really want to tip the server, help us out on the Patreon website for Random Chatter. Pledge $1 a month, and that gets you into our Slack community, so we can discuss and have a conversation nearly 24/7. Have a great night, guys.
Good night.
Bye.
Music provided courtesy of Logan Rathbone. Podcast logo by GN. Listen responsibly. See you next time the open sign goes up. Cheers.